Okay, down.
All right, I'll call the utilities and equipment meeting to order. Present here, in attendance and present is Phil, Harry, Pat, Chris, and Jeremy. We are in compliance with open meeting law
Yep, posted on our website and at our front.
and roll call. It's just Jeremy, Pat, and myself on the committee, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so um, we have the previous meeting minutes in front of you. Anybody got any questions? If not, looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion been made and second to approve. Fifth order of business is the discussion and possible recommendation, Midwest grinding and excavating change order number 1 for the well house number 3 demolition project.
I did not set up the computers for you guys. There's a packet that just includes the change order request. It was originally sent by Andy. It was the $12,000 lump sum.
Right.
After Deb was here, we had asked for an itemized list. And so then they prepared this second one and sent it to us. So maybe at this time it would be appropriate for Andy to walk us through that second list. Could you do that for us, Andy?
Yeah, so essentially we all know we ran into some problems there. Some of them had to do with water main, which essentially led to saturated ground. And as we started digging, we ended up having to mobilize some bigger equipment in order to get the tank, which the utilities in the tank and the blueprint weren't exactly, the utilities were so far off that, look, we own a utility underground directional drilling company on top of this. We had to bring our guy up. The utilities were marked so bad that they weren't even close to being on right. The second time they were marked, they were right on. But nonetheless, that water main got cracked or broke, which saturated a lot of ground, which involved a bunch of heavy equipment. I'm not so much concerned with the location of the tank. From where the city utility guys told us it was, we originally started digging. We didn't find it. The blueprints are sketchy at best. They are there. The tank is on the print. So I'm not going to argue that fact at all. Just the fact that the ground is so saturated and the extra labor and time it took with that water main break, which I think goes beyond a break. I mean, I don't know if the utility guys are there or whatever can back it up, but I think that line had been leaking for quite some time. I don't know. I don't remember what Mike told me. Shot off their 20,000 gallons, which run into the neighbor's yard, essentially would have never saturated that ground to that extent, to where all that stuff was stuck in that clay. It did require us to bring in a 50,000-pound machine in order to get it out, even dug out.
You can't see him, Andy, but Mike is here tonight. The guy that you just referenced. So
Yep.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah, I was hoping he was. So nonetheless, the tank was there. We got it out. That was that. I'm more concerned with the labor and the mobilization aspect that it tied up. Obviously we had to put the brakes on for 2 days or a good day and a half just to get that water main cleaned up. And then the digging of that saturated ground, required us to bring in a bigger machine, which cost additional funds that were never planned for. That's kind of where I'm at with it. By all means, I'm glad it's done, but
at some point anyway. Go ahead.
So essentially that's what I got. I mean, that's how it's broke down in the change order, is the labor, the mobilization, and the machine.
Is the machine that you're referencing that Sandy 225?
Correct.
You would not have needed that machine at any other part of this project or machine similar?
Absolutely not. Our JCB would have been sufficient for that project. Which was on site there as well. The JCB was there. That was the last machine to leave.
Well, from what I understand, things go south and, we're willing to work with you on it. But from what I understand, he had two guys on site that were laborers at best. All right. When something came up that was critical, they had a tough time handling it. I don't know what experience rate they were at, but for even that job, I would have thought better supervision, more experience, personnel on site would have made a huge difference.
I guess it's a matter of opinion.
Well, seems to be a pretty common opinion from most of the guys over here also.
Okay.
But, so basically you blew a day and had to bring in some bigger equipment.
Yeah, we blew well in a day and a half. I mean, you don't move that kind of equipment and snap a finger. So
Was that your backhoe you brought in, or did you rent?
the JCB was the rented machine.
Oh. The 225 was yours, so where'd you have to go to get that?
Monroe. Which our truck was not available to haul it, so that was outsourced hauling there and in and out of Spencer.
Well, in my opinion, I can see split part of, the bigger equipment, part of your services. We had a little skin in the game too, but you guys, we're not gonna cut you a check for $12,000. I've been in the construction business long enough, 40 years, that no, sometimes things just don't go well. And
I
some jobs you
100%
do
agree.
well, some jobs you don't. We're willing to work with you to a point on this, but, not to the tune of 12 grand.
Where does the city want to be?
Well, I'm gonna send this around the table a little bit. Me personally, somewhere between 4 and 5. Run all on 5 on the target. Because part of it, I believe, we should have definitely made sure someone was there and say, do not hit this pipe.
I don't take any fault. I don't believe the city was at fault of that pipe being hit to begin with. That thing was so far unmarked from the utilities. And I'm sure Chris has the Diggers hotline copy.
Well, in this
That thing was
case,
so far off grid.
yeah, in this case, Andy, the responsible utility is the village. Those are village water and sewer services. So as far as us marking those utilities, yes, that would have been our responsibility.
So we marked them twice.
Yeah, we called Diggers in on that deal too.
So the plan set shows the water main coming out the south side of the building and then out to the alley. And I don't know if it more correctly came out of the west side of the building, the west corner
Yes.
of the building.
Yes.
So looking at the plan set, you might have thought that pipe was actually as much as 5 or 6 feet south of the building when they found it right next.
Yeah,
to it.
right straight out. from
Right
the-
straight out from
The water that came up inside.
So did we actually locate stuff to begin with for him?
Yes.
Okay, then we didn't hit the mark.
I had paint on the ground where the water line was, but once the building was tipped over on top of the marks, and Deb had pictures of it before they tipped it over, so it was all marked as best to my knowledge of my
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah,
they
I don't think the village mismarked at all. I think whoever the utility locator come in with diggers had that also had it mismarked.
For the,
Uh,
the fiber line and stuff,
The
is that what you're talking about?
Cable definitely.
Yeah, they had, I don't know,
Yeah.
they had a mess because then the internet company come in and marked it at the end. And then marks weren't anywhere close to where you guys put everything or the previous markers.
And the guy told me that they do not mark those. Charter guy said they do not mark the old coax lines in the ground. Flat out, they don't do it. If you cut them,
Did they tell you that prior to?
no.
So what do they do if you cut them?
Then
They don't
then
care.
they come and
They
replace them.
come out and fix them.
They don't care though?
Nope,
They don't care. Same thing as Frontier Lines. They don't care. They will not mark them.
because they have no way to trace it.
Did we ever figure out what the empty conduit was for? Because at one point we thought we hit a gas line.
Right, that was an abandoned gas line. The one that you called me on over the weekend,
Yeah,
that was the abandoned gas.
awesome marking. All right.
They don't mark them either because they disconnected
They
it.
don't care. It's not on their books
Yeah.
anymore. Well, Tom might disagree, but I wouldn't. I was thinking 7,500 cover the.
Jeremy?
I'm in the middle. I was thinking like 6,000, 6,500.
That's what I was thinking, go halfway.
Yeah. I understand that, you know, there was, you know, things happened, but I mean, I'd be willing to work with you, make sure some of it's covered, but yeah, I think, you know, I was thinking 6,000, 6,500, somewhere in there.
All right. I'm not, you know, and I'm not opposed to coming up to meet. Okay, you're there, you know, I'm here, he's there, you come right in the middle. I'm not opposed to,
Nothing
to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure, no, you know, I understand both sides of the coin. But, you know, I don't want to sound, you know, like an asshole, but, you know, there was a bid, and we understand there was a bid. And that was for services to be rendered at that bid price. And I don't want to be the asshole.
Well, but no, it's like our road projects.
It'd be just the same as our road project that
Anything comes up, we're paying.
we're always, we're always on the hook for anything's extra that gets paid on. Or, you know, if they screw it up.
Come in and say, okay, you wanna do this, it's gonna cost this much.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to be the asshole, but yeah, we can compensate some of it because I understand it was, you know, things happen, but yeah. At least it may not make them whole, but at least covers the labor and equipment or mobilization, and to get stuff here. Where did you take the tank to, actually?
What the hell? What is his name?
First choice.
Oh, you did just take it over?
Yep.
Yeah, whoever brought in, I had to put in. We put in about 5 loads of rock where that tank was, and they hauled the tank out as they brought the rock.
They're talking about the filter that was standing up in the building.
Oh, that went to First Choice. I think it was an Amish guy or something. I don't know. I'm glad. I'll be happy if I never see another one of them. The amount of sand they put in those things is
The
just
tank or
horrible.
the Mennonite?
Well, I got plenty of them here at home, so either or I'd be good with.
I hear you.
That would you be good at 65?
I'm good at splitting the difference at 6, you know, because I get it. Some of that was on my guys. Shit happens.
All right, well,
I'll make a motion to recommend paying $6,000 to, Chris, can you move that down, please?
Oh,
Midwest.
to the
Midwest,
Midwest grinding.
grinding and excavating for the change order. I'll second it.
motion been made and second, all in favor, say aye. Okay,
Andy, just to be clear, this at the committee level, this is a recommendation to the board. Most of the board members are here currently, but this will be on the agenda September 8th for approval at the board level.
That'd be fine.
Yep, you don't have to attend if you don't want to.
Okay.
You can do this if you want to watch it.
If you did, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll touch base with him before.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. If you're done with me, I'm out of here.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Halfway.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to storm management plan for the business park.
I just wanted to mention that I talked to Casey Kraus, and their engineer, Breland Associates, along with Max on Monday, to try to come up with a compromise on the extra stormwater work that needs to be done at the business park to accommodate Mid-Wisconsin and Alpha's next phase of construction. As big as the pond system is,
It ain't big enough.
Ain't big enough.
it's not big enough to handle what amounts to 90% build out on all of those lots. We didn't plan for that. So Breland, working with Max, is gonna come up with a plan. And our goal is that Alpha and Casey can work together to do that work. I have suggested that they site a new pond on our property. So they would pay for the new pond, but it would be adjacent to our existing pond. It would basically be, a small pond or our pond.
Tie them together.
Yep, so,
Then they would lose any space.
and then they don't lose any space on their property. And then the village would maintain those ponds going forward. So that would be something that those two businesses wouldn't have to worry about maintaining in the future. It'd be great if the village could say we can just pay for it all and be done with it, but,
We can't do that.
What's the original architect or engineers on this, business park, where shouldn't that kind of been, did they change the rules since, from 10 years ago to now on holding ponds?
they didn't change the rules, but, the DNR got a little bit more strict about enforcement. So that's one thing. The other thing is that Casey's full build out is outside the original boundary of the business park.
I
So,
mean, it's great. I mean, we've got a tax base that's,
yeah, he came to the village and wanted to be in the business park, but he also wanted 5 acres. And 3 acres were in the business park. And 2 acres were not. And so those 2 acres were never put for as far as addition to the business park storm sewer system. Additionally, Alpha is planning for 90% build out on their sites. They've got a couple of big buildings and then all the rest is gonna be parking lot. That's, the DNR considers being impervious, even if it's just gravel. And so all of that is in addition to what Casey wants to do, maxes out the pond. To be clear, it doesn't max it out hydraulically. We can always push as much flow as we need to through that pond. It's sediment. The DNR has a requirement of 80% sediment removal in our stormwater treatment system. And so that's what we're running up against. With the size of their build outs, we can only get to 60% sediment. So it's my hope that they can work together to come up with something instead of each one doing a pond on their own property that discharges to the village's pond, that maybe they can do something together. Quite frankly, I think Casey would be happy to build it himself to help save some money too.
Mhm.
And then if it was, and then if it was sited on our property, it would be ours to maintain. So I just wanted to give you an update on where we are with that. It's been a while, primarily because Max has been working hard to try to maximize doing the calculations and trying to figure out how to get as much blood out of this tournament as he can. And it's just not, there's just not enough there. So, Casey seemed very receptive to the idea and shout to Frank at Alpha this week to haven't heard back from him yet. But
That's a plus for those guys. I mean, they're not gonna lose any real estate.
Right.
yeah, because I think in total it would be about 1/2 to 3/4 of an acre additional pond space. So it ends up being a decent amount.
Good chunk.
So there's no action on that. I just wanted to give you.
No, it's good. We talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, can't have too many more lots left in this park, do we?
Casey, not Casey, Alpha, the village approved the sale of that lot to Alpha at the last board meeting. And so that takes up that side of the business park. There's really only the 4 interior lots.
The four on that cul-de-sac.
The 4 in between Oak and, or I mean.
2 on the cul-de-sac,
Madison
2 on Oak.
Madison, Terrace, or whatever that
Is
is.
there people building there? Are we got enough pond space? Are we gonna be building ponds or?
There is that, actually, the original temporary pond is still sited in that interior area. Yep, so those 4 lots actually will be serviced by that pond.
Yeah.
We can't get the flow from their side of the road into that pond, you know.
They
so
don't run
they
uphill?
don't run uphill.
No, come on.
And then, of course, that would be taking away capacity for those 4 lots anyway.
So dumb question, is, I know that prosthetics was talking about building, are we gonna run into the same problem when they built another half of their building up?
We'll run into an issue where we will have to work to incorporate their design into our stormwater management plan. The interesting thing about the lot that's next to Prosthetics Plus is that half of that lot is not in the basin that we treat with those ponds. It's in what has been designated as the bypass area of those ponds. So the water that flows on, or that, falls on that property flows overland to the south and then along the ditch
In the creek?
right into the creek. Yep. So if they build, say they build a building, they add on to the building, they double the footprint there. They will have to accommodate like whatever falls on that building. If that water's shedding to the south, they might have to come up with some kind of a treatment for that. If it sheds to the north, depending on the volume, maybe we can't handle that. And that's one thing that Max is going to help us do with Casey and Alpha, is to make sure that if they're going to add on, we don't lose, we don't miss an opportunity to make sure that we're going to
Make
cover
sure
our
we're doing
needs in the
something.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice, some support businesses of Alpha. Man, it's like, oh, yes, nice spot.
Are you aware that Alpha has businesses like that?
Support businesses.
Sure there are.
Yeah, I mean, like HV, I mean,
Well, and that's why he put up that extra garage, is because he had customers and business partners that are storing stuff otherwise that are gonna pay for that building.
So his plan, his long-term plan is to quadruple the size of the existing building he has. So the existing building that's up right now gets mirrored in an
Yeah.
addition that doubles the size of that building. And that building in its entirety gets duplicated on this.
and he's got enough real estate for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
so, I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah,
And the shed that he just built in the plans that he
In the
shared
back
with us gets duplicated as well. And I call it a shed, but that's the actual shed.
It's a big shed.
So like I say, that amounts to basically a 90% build out of those 2 lots, which is pretty significant. You compare that to like Gussie or Quality or even Country Wireless, where you've still got a lot of green space there. Where, you don't have to include all of that into stormwater management.
We also have a huge wetland behind us.
Yes.
yeah, okay.
And to your point of the engineers looking to the future, this will be something that we include in all future development agreements, because we never really did that in the past, where we are going to assign a specific amount of capacity of our existing stormwater system to each new developer, so that they know what they can build. And then if they want to go over that amount, they would be responsible for it with a pond or a treatment system or something. I don't think that would be required for the 4 internal lots. But just as a matter of good course,
Mhm.
we'll start adding that into our developers agreements.
Yeah. All right, well, down there, I see that Sandruskis is moving lots of dirt.
And that's Casey.
That's
Casey
Casey's
has
doing
got-
that?
Yep, Casey got the earth moving and concrete work for that
That's
project.
convenient. Right across the-
Yeah, in fact, it gave him, when I talked to him yesterday, I gave him a hard time because he was actually in some equipment last week. I'm like,
It was today.
you don't really get a chance to operate equipment anymore, do you? And he's like, oh, I needed a therapy day. I thought that's kind of cute.
He told me that they will be building the garages, starting construction on the eighth.
Yeah. Yeah, so they want
It's
to,
better garages.
yeah, they want to,
They can store materials in.
Oh, yeah.
For the 2 and 3 or those
the top.
separated ones, yeah, separated ones.
The east end ones, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got it just about all formed up today. They connected to the sewer.
Yeah.
With the manhole and stuff today. I got pictures of that.
oh, okay. Is that what you would text him or wanted to talk to me?
Yeah.
I was out of the office today for a little while. So.
After 3 years, it's really kind of nice to see that.
Mhm.
4 years.
Yeah. Whether or not they're 100% done by the end of next fall, I don't know, but
No,
they're
just seeing a dirt move.
yeah,
I think they'll be done. They move pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
yeah.
And the project manager was there today too, and he's
Dale Bergman. Bigger guy.
younger, no, a young guy now.
Young guy.
Oh, there's actually a Swiderski that's been assigned to this project. It's really
This guy used to be an engineer at Automated.
Casey wasn't unsure how they were gonna do their framing, if they thought they might do panelized.
I would guess.
As opposed to framing outside. To try to speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to see the houses going up, so. Any more interest?
Just in that lot that we approved Wilderness to sell to.
That one by
Matt Stoltz's, the one behind Wayne Hagen.
Wayne, yeah.
And Newman's house is going up.
Third floor today.
Yep.
Yep.
See that.
Corner.
So we just have the multifamilies left on.
The sewer up yesterday on that one too.
We can always adjust.
Single
it.
or multifamily? Yep.
Yeah, the 4 or 5 lots right along.
We'll
So,
sell or.
We're actually trying to talk Will into building a spec home. He's looking for his next project, so
There you go.
so.
Have a duplex.
he just never stops looking for it. Always some.
It would be nice to see at least one go up there, and as soon as people see one, they'll say, it's not too bad, I mean.
Yeah, in fact, Matt Stoltzfus was looking at one of those lots on the cul-de-sac until I pointed towards Wilderness. So I think if Matt continues to sell them as well as he is, I think he would have no problem continuing.
Yeah, cause both of the empty ones are closing on the third now.
Yeah. So he's really doing a good job.
All right, now if there's nothing else, we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Yeah, motion made to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Hit your butt, Chris.
Do you have another sheet for me to fill out, Chris?